Alright, cool stuff. Premium Collection 2020 Card of the Day reveals. Gotta make a video before Solomon wakes up, so let's get to it. So first card we have for Nova Grapplers is Heteromorphic Dragon King Asdabulk. So looks like it's been going to the gym quite often. What the effect is, when it attacks, you can counterblast 1 and turn a card from your G-Zone face up and stand all your front row rear guards. This unit gains power plus 5,000 until the end of that battle for each unit that was stand. So right off the bat, doesn't have guard restrict. I mean, everything we've seen in Premium Collection recently has guard restrict, and this one doesn't. But the effect of standing your front row rear guards seems quite powerful in a vacuum, because just doubling the amount of attacks is pretty good. But it's if we think of it in terms of like first stride, it is competing with something like Bustard, and does it really do better than Bustard? Looks like more like a finisher or push kind of card, but you know, you could just plus infinity with Bustard. So like multi-attack isn't something that Nova totally needs. So I'm not sure how this will fit in to the premium Nova Grappler build. I don't think it does. You probably like run one of, but you probably rarely go into it because your finisher is still Victor. So yeah, I don't think it fits there. But when we think about it in terms of standard and like standard plus builds, maybe this fits really well because your standard build is Azure Dragon, or God Hand, and they're all about rushing and pushing. So having this striding to this card, which is pretty generic and can kind of just give you those free extra attacks anyway, maybe that is where it needs to be. So maybe it gives standard builds like this nice option. It gives Novas like 2 builds of options to play with. You can go the Bustard advantage build, or just go all in and bash your opponent. So yeah, this seems kind of interesting. Maybe would expect a bit more. I think the Vanguard power is pretty lame, because the Vanguard power probably doesn't really matter much. Your first stride is like plus 15k, but they could probably just no guard that, and then second stride plus 20. It's largely irrelevant. So overall, Asdabulk, yeah, that's pretty cool. Second one we have is Great Nature. So we have Omniscience Dragon, TCPIP to Cam. No, I mean, there's no TCP. It's just TCIP. How do you even say this? So the Japanese one is Chipitokam. Okay, so Chipitokam. All right, okay, that's how you say it. Now, this effect seems pretty interesting. So when your card is put from your rearguard circle or deck into the drop zone, you may put that card on the bottom of your deck. So that's pretty cool. Great Nature is all about retiring, and you just run out of deck really quickly because basically everything mills. Like we think about the new standard cards, all about milling cards. If you think about the Premium Collection 2019 stride, Magmagar, Aurum, yeah, that's like milling ability in cards. And then your double G guard or just your single G guard is just about drawing cards. So you pretty much just go through your deck by the second grade 3 turn or your second stride. This card kind of mitigates that. Maybe it gives you like an extra turn of striding, but you probably won't need to have that extra turn because look, your second effect is when your rear guard attacks, you may Soul Blast 1 and turn a card from your G-Zone face up, and that unit gains power plus 5,000 until the end of that battle for each face-up card in your G-Zone. And at the end of that battle, retire that unit. So this isn't limited to once per turn. You could just have all your rear guards attack, and then you pump your, just flipping things up in your G-Zone, and your power line, your attacks will like get slowly stronger for each of those things that you flip up. But the one thing is that you're retiring that unit, so you don't get to stand with them later. But I guess this works pretty well with Premium Collection 2019 stride, the Magmagar Aurum, because then it creates an empty slot so you don't feel bad when you play over it with that effect. But you will have soul problems. So I guess that the big thing is, how do you generate soul in Great Nature? And that will be the big question if you really want to abuse this card or not. So one of the ways to soul charge would be Label Pangolin, but means you have to run Label Pangolin. So not sure how useful that'll be. But the other thing is that because you get to flip a bunch of things up, then you can you have a big GB count like on your second stride. So you can go into like GB8. Unfortunately, the GB8 for Great Nature is pretty jank. So you probably don't go into that. But when we think of a second stride, when people associate second strides with GN, they think Zoa, because Zoa wins games, or a fat Belial. And this will definitely help you get a big fat Belial, because what? You can unflip a bunch of cards, and then can G-guard like once or twice, and then you'll be at like GB 6 or 7, and then you go into Belial, and bam, your front row is getting super, super fat. I guess you can, like with the GN stride, you can also turbo a Zoa without needing to G-guard. So I think it'll be pretty interesting. Should be like this. These kind of effects seem very abusable. Cards going back to the bottom of your deck, you can probably just create a stack, like a stack. You attack with like janky triggers, and then create a stack of triggers at the bottom. So yeah, I think this seems pretty abusable. But again, no guard restrict. We've seen a lot of guard restrict in every card, and this one doesn't get it. So maybe it's a bit more tame. It's a bit more tame than before. But I think the big thing we can get from these two cards today is that with Solemn and Different Fight's card reveals coming up in the next 2 weeks, Different Fight won't be doing Nova Grapplers, and Solemn won't be doing Great Nature. So we can rule those out and guess what other kind of clans they'll be revealing. So that'll be cool. Keep an eye out for those. They happen on the weekends, either Saturday or Sunday, depending on your time zone. I think it'll be similar to last week because they're all in Europe. So probably around the same time. Then don't quote me on that. Don't quote me that. I don't know. But apart from those, these two have been pretty interesting reveals for Premium Collection 2020. And I guess I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.